Now it's the part where we undress. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Nerd Cave. I'm Jason Hardwick.
And I'm Troy Benjamin. And we're going to talk to you about pie.
I love pie.
I love pie. I also love 3.14.
Pumpkin 3.14.
Oh. I don't really care for the film Pie, though. But anyway, that's a different
I actually haven't
subject.
seen it.
No, but talking about movies, summer's coming to an end.
Summer is coming to an end, sadly.
And it's a sad thing. This
I'm
movie
not sad
season.
about it at all.
This was a pretty good movie season.
Yeah,
for the most part. Right?
yeah. I would say it
There's
was strong to quite strong.
Strong to quite strong.
Yeah.
But I feel like out of the summer movies, probably my favorites were
We're talking big budget action flicks,
budget,
right?
yeah,
That's what
yeah.
we deal with here on Still Playing with Toys, of course. So.
Only the big goofy movies that
Beasts
cost
of the
bajillions
Southern
of
Wild.
dollars. Beasts of the Southern Wild.
Check it out.
No, wait. They're watching our show.
It's actually a good film.
Stay
But
here.
Let's stick with the summer, the blockbuster.
Blockbusters. So
Yes.
blockbuster-wise, my favorites were Dark Knight Rises and Avengers.
The two big offerings
down.
from Marvel and DC.
DC.
I would agree. Those were really great superhero films.
They were
strong,
especially with Dark Knight Rises. I felt like it was a fitting conclusion.
Problems aside,
There were problems,
but
there were problems in Dark Knight, and there were problems in Batman Begins, but they're still great movies.
But it's still they're the pinnacle of what I think a comic book movie can aspire to be. I know there are a lot of people out here that are really going to disagree with me, and please leave your comments and let us know.
There you go. Troy is an idiot.
Yeah, we
Thumbs
love
up.
hate mail. We love it. So please send it our way.
Hate mail's totally fine. Send it away.
Yeah.
But no, it was a fitting conclusion, but at the same time, I'm a little worried because they're already talking about rebooting Batman.
Rebooting. Everything gets reboot these days.
Why?
Why?
Why would you? Because you've set up Batman so many times now.
We get it.
Mommy,
daddy died. Boo hoo hoo. Move on.
You are an insensitive asshole.
That's true. But it's like the thing that I like about Marvel and what they're doing with their whole film universe is, with the Avengers, they didn't have to set up all these origins. They've already done that. They're being very smart in that they're building the universe from pretty much, I guess, Iron Man was like the first.
I think so.
But anyways, from that certain point, it's like
Incredible Hulk and Iron Man.
Yeah, Incredible Hulk. They're kind of including that in there.
Anyway.
But yeah, so they've started there. So they've gotten all the origins out of the way, and that made the Avengers, I think, a much better film. Because it's just bam, end of the story. It was great. We
didn't have to worry about where all of these people came from. Even in the sort of ancillary characters that we had only seen a little bit, we don't get their sob backstories. It's just sort of, we know that these characters exist, even if you don't know who Hawkeye is or you don't know who Black Canary is.
Yeah.
They just absorb them and let's go.
You said Black Canary. That is a DC character.
I'm sorry, I meant Black Widow.
So wow. So 2 nerd points to Jason.
All right, where's Art?
Yeah, we need to keep. Yeah, every time we correct each other on a nerd fact, we need to keep track. So that's
Black
true for me.
Widow. I'm sorry, Black Canary, Black Widow.
That's all right.
They're both hot and they wear awesome tight clothing.
Whoa.
Anyway,
but you're right. I mean, it's the story didn't get bogged down in the origin of all these characters. Because they all had their origins in their own movies. But I think granted, there was the whole, I guess, quasi-origin of how the team came together.
True.
But, it worked, and they didn't spend too much time on it, I didn't feel like. But I think the Avengers shows that you don't need to have an origin story in superheroes comics or superhero films anymore, especially the superheroes that we've already seen in films.
Because that was like an event. It felt like an event where all of these characters came together, much like they do in the comic books. And it's like a culmination.
It's a culmination. And I guarantee you, considering how many people saw Avengers, not all of them had seen each of the other Marvel films containing the origin stories of all the heroes. But they still enjoyed it, I'm sure, And I think, conversely, you look at Amazing Spider-Man,
right?
And how many years was it since the Sam Raimi's first Spider-Man?
2001.
Yeah, was it? So 10-ish years-ish.
Yeah.
Years-ish.
Years-ish.
Within 10 years, we get a superhero character that is huge. I mean, the Sam Raimi films,
Everybody
be you a fan
saw
or
Sam
not.
Raimi's Spider-Man when it came out.
Everybody saw it, exactly.
Biggest thing humanly possible.
We get it. All right, we know how he becomes Spider-Man, and yet here we have Mark Webb, his
Who
version.
I love.
I love Mark Webb,
yeah.
but we don't need an origin of Spider-Man. We know the character. Just give us your take on that character.
Look at what Joss Whedon did. Give us your take on, because everybody knows Spider-Man. Everybody knows Mary Jane, even though they didn't put Mary Jane in it. Whatever. That's a different podcast.
Yeah.
But you know, it's everybody knows these characters, and you're bringing in this team, much like Joss Whedon came in to like sort of put his spin on it, to put his take on it, and that's
which is very similar to how comic books work. Like story arcs and such. An artist or a writer will come on, they'll do a stint, they'll do 6 issues, 12 issues, they'll work for years on a title, and it's their take, but when they're done, whatever they work on next, another person comes in, and they tell their story of that character.
And they don't tell the origins.
They don't tell the origins, so why do filmmakers do it?
Yeah, every single time a new writer came onto a comic book, can you imagine how tedious it would be if they retold the origins every single time?
Yeah, and granted, the argument could be, comic book fans, they're nerds and they've been reading this stuff forever. They don't need an origin story. I'm sure a lot of executives think like that, but I think we've gotten to the point, as far as movie viewership goes, the common man, the common woman, the casual viewer at home. As far as that goes, we've gotten to the point where we don't need to see origin stories anymore. Unless it's a character that we've never seen on film, or it's an original character and you have some kind of cool way of introducing them or originizing.
But even you can still jump into a story midway through, even if you don't know all the characters. If I didn't see, like you said, if I didn't see Thor and I didn't see Captain America, I could still enjoy Avengers, much in the same way that, like, if I haven't been reading Batman since the initial Bob Kane run, I still know Batman, and I know that he's got cool gadgets, and I know that he's got a lot of money, and there's those certain things.
Popular culture. It's just common knowledge almost.
And sometimes it's even better, because I know you wanted to talk about something that, like,
actually, Troy, thanks for bringing it up.
Look at that, as if it was on cue. It's in this card right here.
Right here. Look at this big behemoth.
That is a giant omnibus.
X-Men Age of Apocalypse. This came out in mid-90s. I think 95, 96. Maybe into 97.
Sounds about right. It was probably... Yeah.
But I would say
junior high for us. Basically.
Yeah, it was junior high. And this was when I really started getting into comic books. And granted, I knew about the X-Men. I had read some of my brother's issues, before that, because he was a comic book nerd. He has since grown out of that. I didn't. But, I was familiar with the characters, but, when I started, I just started picking up single issues, and I do own all of these single issues, in floppies.
But now you have this. When was the last time you read it, though?
I haven't read it since it initially came out, so I have not read this. I actually just got this, 3 days ago in the mail.
And you haven't read this? Look how thick this book is.
It'll take me years.
He's a slow
It's
reader.
All pictures.
It's really slow reader.
It'll still take me years.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's, but like with this, you had a writer come onto this thing and do this huge, crazy crossover story arc. This is probably making a lot of really good noise.
It is. Yeah, this is going to be fun
I'll put
to
this
edit.
down.
Thanks,
This will be
Jason.
great.
And he's the editor. He's like,
wow. But yeah, so, you have an artist and a writer come on and do this major, massive story arc. And, I was coming into it ooh, X-Men are cool. I didn't need an origin story to enjoy that story and read it. I loved it.
And it makes it even better because you're having to play catch up, so you're immersed immediately from the very beginning.
And if you truly are really into something and you want to know more, what did I do? I went out and I bought back issues. Today, if I watch a movie and I don't know enough about a character, genre film or regular film, it's some historical drama. I'm like, I don't really know anything about Margaret Thatcher. I'm gonna go read something on her, So I don't think it's necessary to give us an origin story. Just give us a good story. Origin stories are overdone.
Yeah.
That's why next episode of Still Playing with Toys, it's going to be the origin story.
The origins of our show.
Yeah.
Which one was Margaret? She's also the really hot one in the tight clothing, right? It's Black Canary, Black Widow, and Margaret Thatcher.
And Margaret Thatcher, yeah. Right? I think, yeah.
She
wore like the British flag
character?
on her. Yeah, she's a comic book character. Right. Yeah. Right. Look her up, Margaret Thatcher.
I'm gonna read her back issues. It's
really hot. Woo! Comic book character.
Well, I think that's about all the time that we have.
I hope that is. I don't know where else this would go after that. So,
But thank you everybody for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Please subscribe on our YouTube channel.
Just do it already.
Go to iTunes, come to the website, talk to us, send us hate mail, make fun of me because I messed up Black Canary, Black Widow. We don't care.
I will.
Interact with us. It's good.
Please.
Make fun of him.
Yeah.
He can take it.
And, if you have any topics you want us to discuss as well, like, comic book arcs, movies, anything, literally. It doesn't even have to be nerd, geek related.
Make a suggestion.
Let us know. We'll talk about it.
And one thing that we're going to introduce is we're going to have you guys start FaceTiming in to start talking to us. So look for that soon, too.
That'll be fun.
So until next Monday, I'm Troy.
I'm Jason.
Thanks for joining us. Bye, everybody.
Peace out.
I don't know why we just did peace.
I don't know why I did that. Where'd that come from?
We're not cool.
I quit. Now he's leaving. Ooh, Cheeto!
When it works, you just do it every episode.